Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Pasco, Mr. Distinctions. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alright, so today we are going to conclude the question which we started yesterday. And this question came from Science Paper 2, 2023, School Certificate. And that was question 5. Alright, so for those who haven't watched my previous video, you can look for it. So that you watch, you put a like and a comment. I urge you to check for it so that you get some important concepts. I explained some important concepts based on this topic, chemical bonding. There are some essential concepts you need to know for you not to be failing the questions which are brought on this topic. For example, I explained how to know that this element is a metal or is a non-metal. Also, I explained types of chemical bonding. I explained in detail. Also, I explained how elements are located in groups and in periods. Therefore, I urge you to watch. Don't forget to subscribe, to put a like and a comment on the video. Alright, so let's get started. So in the question we are told, element M is located in group 1 and in period 3. Element N is located in group 6 and in period 2. And they asked us to draw a dot and cross diagram to show how the bonding will occur between these two elements. These two elements were reacted and they asked us to draw a dot and cross diagram so that we may show them how the bonding will look. Alright, so first and foremost, like I said in the previous video, it is not possible for us to draw a dot and cross diagram minus knowing these two elements, because in the question they have just given us letters, not actual elements. We have been just given element M and element N without giving us the actual element. So we are going to identify which element is element M on the periodic table. Also, which element represents element N on the periodic table. So for us to identify well, we are going to use the periodic table. So as you can see, we have these groups. Here we have group 1, group 2, and so on and so forth. We also have period 1, period 2, period 3, and so on and so forth. So the first element or element M, we are told is located in group 1 and in period 3. So let's count together. So this is group 1, and that is what we have been told. What about the period? So we have period 1, period 2, period 3. So if you can see clearly, the element which is located in group 1 and in period 3 is sodium. So the element which is representing M is sodium. What about element N? Element N, we are told, is located in group 6 and in period 2. So let's count the groups together. We have group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6. Alright, let's count now the periods. We have period 1, period 2. So if you can see, the element which is located in group 6 and is in period 2 is oxygen, as you can see here. So in a nutshell, we have sodium which is reacting with oxygen. So they have used these two letters, letter M and letter N, so that they confuse us. So whenever you see the question which is like this one, whereby you have just been given only the letters, the first thing you need to do, you have to identify the actual elements. So now that we see that element M represents sodium, element N represents oxygen, we can now tell or we can write now the dot and cross diagram, because we know the actual elements which are being reacted together. And I hope you know that if sodium reacts with oxygen, the which we are going to have is sodium oxide. So we have just been asked to draw or to show them how sodium oxide looks. Alright, but before I show you how sodium oxide looks, let me show you how each element looks. So here we have sodium, which has a proton number of 11 and a mass number of 23. So this is how we arrange electrons in the energy levels. So in the first shell we have 2 electrons, in the second shell we have 8 electrons, then in the third shell we have only 1 electron. So this is the sodium. Okay, and this is oxygen, which has a proton number of 8 and a mass number of 16. So here is the arrangement of electrons in the energy levels of oxygen. We have 2 electrons in the first shell, then we have 6 electrons in the second shell. Right, so I'm going to show you step by step how to draw sodium oxide. So here we have sodium, which has a proton number of 11 and the mass number of 23, like I said. Then we can see that its valence number is 1, because for it to be stable it has to lose 1 electron. So that is the valence. Don't forget, valence number is the number of electrons which is gained or lost for an element to be stable. So for it to be stable it has to lose 1 electron. So that is the valence, and you have to write it on top there like I did, as you can see. So here we have also oxygen, which have the valence number of 2, because for it to be stable it has to gain 2 more electrons. So I have written it on top there, as you can see. I've written a 2. So now the next step is just to swap the numbers. So you have to swap the valences, as you can see. Then after that, this is how the formula will look. So this is the formula for chemical formula for sodium oxide. Alright, so here is how our bonding will look. So we have sodium, which has lost 1 electron. We also have sodium, another sodium, which has also lost 1 electron. Then in between here we have oxygen, which has accepted 2 electrons from both sodiums. So if you can see clearly, I have written 2 more positives on top of the 2 sodiums, and on top of the oxygen I have written -2. So in the next video I will explain why do we write positives if an element is losing, and why do we write negatives if an element is gaining. So this is ionic type of bonding. So this is how the bond will look. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Keep following me, subscribe if you haven't done that. Also put a like and a comment if you have liked this video. Otherwise, thank you for your support. See you next time.